If you earned 38 points out of the 50 total points on your algebra test, what was your score as a percent? Now, when we're doing these problems, the tool that we're going to use is the percent equation. And so to do that, we're always going to want to write our information in a short sentence. Something is some percent of another quantity. And so there's usually going to be three pieces of information that we're working with. In this problem, the pieces of information we're working with are 38 points, and that's how much you've earned. So you've earned 38 points, and then there are 50 total points. And the third piece of information, which is the piece that we don't know, it's what they want us to figure out, is what was your score as a percent? Now, because the unknown quantity that we're trying to figure out is the percent that your score was, we're going to put that in the middle, and we don't know what it is, so I'm going to write what percent. And so the other two pieces of information have to go in the other blanks. And so either the problem is asking us 38 is what percent of 50, or they're asking 50 is what percent of 38. And the only one that makes sense is saying 38 is what percent of 50. Usually the first blank is the part, and the last blank is the whole. And 38 is the part of the points that you earned. 50 is the whole amount of points on the test. And so in this case, we're saying 38 is what percent of 50. Now, we can convert this to an equation. 38, of course, is 38. Is means equals. What percent, because that's the unknown, we use a variable to represent that. So that's going to be x. Of is multiplication, and 50 is 50. So we've got 38 equals x times 50. And I'm going to rewrite that below, just so that everything isn't spaced apart so much. Now, if we want to get x by itself in this equation, currently x is being multiplied by 50. So to undo that, we have to divide by 50. And so we have to do that to both sides. On the right, the 50s cancel, and we're left with x by itself. And on the left, if we perform the division 38 divided by 50, we end up getting 0.76. You can do that with a calculator, so you don't actually have to write it out and deal with all those decimals. Now, we were asked, what was your score as a percent? So in this case, our final answer needs to be a percent, and 0.76 is not a percent. And so we convert. And to convert from a decimal to a percent, we need to move the decimal point to the right 2 places. And when we do that, this becomes 76%. And so your score on that test as a percent is 76%, which in my class is a C.